Hello. As promised, this video is all about the book haul that I have for you guys. I got 14 books here. Now, I didn't buy all these in one time. I'm not crazy. Well, a little bit. This has been an ongoing process since about August. I've been buying like a book here, a book there, go out of town, grab a book, you know, things like that. But I just realized I've never really talked about all the books I've gotten in the last month or so. So that's what we're doing today. We're going over these books. Hopefully you can get some for your fall TBRs, because that's what this is for me. It's a book haul, but in a way it's kind of like a cozy fall recommendations. I haven't read any of these books yet, and I cannot wait to dive into them. So first, I have Bitter and Sweet by Rhonda McKnight. This book was kind of circulating around for a while. It's like my dog knows when I'm about to start talking because she want to come get in the mix. Lola, go lay down, baby. Go lay down. Go lay down. I gotta do my book video. You want to talk about the books? Do you? Okay, lay down. You gotta lay down though. You gotta lay down. So Bitter and Sweet, Rhonda McKnight. I saw this book kind of going around a while ago. Didn't really know what it was about. Then I start kind of digging and looking. I'm like, this seems like a really cozy fall read, you know. I'm not going to read the back of all of these books, but I'll kind of try to give you a little synopsis of what they're about. Lola, for real. You're either going to lay and let me talk about these books, or you're going to have to go over there or up here. You got to pick a space, baby. So this one is about two sisters. It seems like they're going to save a family restaurant. It goes between past and present, so it's dual timelines, and I really don't know a lot about it. Like I said in another video, I kind of like to go in it a little bit blind just to see, but it seems like it's going to go from present to 1918. So I love a good dual timeline. Looks like I'm on a roll with my historical fiction, so this is going to be good. Next, I have Long After We're Gone by Tara Shelton Harris. This is, I'm not going to say it's the sequel, but this is the same author that wrote One Summer in Savannah. Don't you eat my books? One Summer in Savannah. And I did really like that book. It wasn't a wow book, but I still think about that book. So if I still think about your book, I'm going to buy more of your books. So quote on the back basically says, "Don't let the white man take the house." That's all I need. That's all I need. Don't let the white man take the house. So I don't think this is dual timeline or anything. It's just chapter by chapter. No dual POVs. Let's see. These are the last words King Solomon says to his son before he dies. "Now, for all four Solomon siblings must return to North Carolina to save the kingdom, their ancestral home and 200 acres of land, from a development company that has their sights on turning the valuable waterfront property into a luxury resort." Oh, it does say it. "Told in alternating viewpoints, Long After We're Gone is an explosive and emotional portrait on the power of family and letting go of things that no longer serve you, exploring the burden of familial expectations, the detriment of miscommunication, and the lessons and legacies we pass on to our children." Cozy fall read. I cannot wait. Then I have Instructions for Dancing, Nicola Yoon. I haven't read anything by this author. I've watched movie adaptations of, what is it? What's the book? Is it Everything? And I don't know, two sad ones. I know they were sad. So I got a feeling this one's going to tear me apart. I'm not sure even what this one's about anymore. I'll read a little bit of it. Evie Thomas doesn't believe in love anymore, especially after the strangest thing occurs one otherwise ordinary afternoon. She witnesses a couple kiss and is overcome with the vision of how their romance began and how it will end. After all, even the greatest love stories end with a broken heart eventually. Who told me? Lucy loves books and bags. She told me to read this book. So she said it was going to tear me apart. When I feel like being torn apart, I'm going to go ahead and get into it. I don't feel like getting torn apart right now, though. So we're going to definitely add that to the fall mix. Then I have no other than Jennifer Hartman, Shelley St. Clair. This is a dual author combo. The Thorns Remain. Y'all know I love this author. I've literally read a good chunk of her books. She has so many books. Her books are always you kind of teeter between your moral compass when you read some of her books. And sometimes I like to be tempted with how crazy am I? So I'm jumping into this. It looks like it's going to be some revenge of some sort. I'll just read a little bit. Hiding deep within the shadows of human nature, it smolders, simmers, waits. Only for me, it was no longer a hibernating beast. The day I discovered the wrongs committed against me, vengeance claws its way right through me. The beast had emerged from its lair with a burning need to destroy the man who tore my marriage apart. And now it was my lifeline, my dark lover, my whole purpose. So it looks like, could be a cheating trope in here, I'm not sure. It looks like a man's wife does him wrong and he seeks vengeance on the guy. Don't know how, don't know what's gonna happen, but with this author, definitely probably something unhinged, I'm sure, but I'm here for it. So like I said, y'all, in our last video, I loved The Nightingale so much that my crazy self turned around and bought 3 of this lady's books. Kristen Hanna. I got The Women, Four Winds, and Great Alone. The Great Alone. And I can't wait. I can't wait to get in them. Four Winds follows a family in Texas in the 1920s after the Great War. Looks like it's going to be going through the Great Depression and their life through that. I'm just going to make that short and sweet. The Great Alone is set in Alaska, 1974. It's a family in crisis. They're living off the grid in a harsh, unforgiving wilderness. Mr. Albright has come home from the Vietnam War, a changed and volatile man, and has made an impulsive decision to move his wife and daughter north to America's last true frontier. This sweeping, unforgettable portrait of human frailty and resilience spans the decades in a place of incomparable beauty and danger, where a family learns the truth about the wilderness that lives in both man and nature. Y'all, this don't even sound like nothing that I would even read, like, at all. It sounds boring. It sounds like I'm gonna fall asleep every 3 pages. But guess what? I have heard so many great reviews about this, and The Nightingale did me the same way. I felt like I was gonna fall asleep on that one too, and never did. So I'm giving him a try. I might hate him. I have no idea, but I love The Nightingale so much that I'm willing to try everything. And The Women is about the story of the Vietnam War, but it's the women involved and the nurses. So that was a win-win for me. I mean, I don't know if y'all know, but I'm a nurse. So I love to read books about nurses. I don't know why. It's like they're untold stories of what the women that were part of the Vietnam War went through. You hear about the men all the time. You hear about that war, but you don't hear about what they went through. And it's not like it's historical fiction, so I'm sure obviously it's fiction, but you're going to get an insight on what was really going on at that time. Same way you found out what was going on in World War II in The Nightingale. So I'm down for a history lesson. Then I have the second book in the Rise and Fall series. I have Colliding with Fate. This is the book after All I've Wanted, All I've Needed. Love that book. Love the mailman character in that book. And I believe this is, don't get me wrong, I know this is Kyrell. Right now I can't remember who Kyrell is, but I want to say it was his cousin. I don't really know. I'm going to continue on with this series. I think I read that one last winter, and it's about time I get back to this series. Gina loves to read. If you follow her on like Goodreads and stuff, then that's my friend. She raves about this. She raves about it. So I got to get it. I have to try it out, and I'm going to read it, and I'm sure I'll love it. Okay, then I have Truly, Madly, Deeply. This is the newest release, I believe, for LJ Shin. I read The Devil Wears Black by this author. That was my first book by LJ Shin, and I loved it. It was the banter. It was cute. It was a little the mailman character got on my nerves so bad in that one, but I was invested in the story and I loved it. So I'm not gonna say I loved it. I was invested in the story and I really liked that book. So I'm on my LJ Shin journey. So I'm gonna just like slowly pick up books by this author just to see. It is always very spicy. The banter I hear is really good in this. And I'm just gonna read the dedication. I saw this on TikTok and I was like, dang, does it really say that? And I went to my book and was like, it really says that. Dedicated to all the girls who know Prince Charming is nice, but the villain really knows how to use all that pent-up rage in between the sheets. Here's to choosing the guy who could do both. It's already let you know what time it is with this one. It's about to be spicy. So I'll read the back of this one just in case you don't know. This old flame just might set them on fire. Conceited, unattainable, and downright delicious. Michelin-star chef Ambrose Casablancas has one passion in life: food. Women are a distraction, and he doesn't do those, especially Cal, his baby sister's best friend. Her entire existence is a compilation. She's awkward, eccentric, infuriating, and, much to his dismay, hotter than his kitchen. Ambrose has a lot on his plate: a new restaurant to open, a multi-million-dollar property deal to execute, and a violent stalker to tame. Then Cal shows up on his doorstep, looking for both a job and salvation after their messy goodbye. His resolve, like his patience, is ebbing each day she works at the restaurant. Because Cal is no longer a doe-eyed girl, now she's the woman he'll do anything to conquer. So this is Sister's Best Friend, and it's gonna be spicy. So then I have, when I was in Pittsburgh, I got this book. It just called my name. I have kind of been looking at reviews on it, kind of seeing people reading it. It seems like it's a thriller, but I feel like it's got a little bit of horror in here too. I've never read horror in my life, so hopefully it's not like scary, but you know, I'm down for scary. I've just never read horror. I've always read like suspense, mystery, thriller, but never horror. I know it has like ghosts in here. People rave about this book. It's kind of like historical fiction as well. It's set back in Gracetown, Florida in 1950. 12-year-old Robbie Stevens Jr. is sentenced to 6 months at the Gracetown School for Boys for kicking the son of the largest landowner in town in defense of his older sister, Gloria. So begins Robbie's journey further into the terrors of the Jim Crow South and the very real horror of the school they call the reformatory. So it looks like he gets in trouble with the law, probably because he's younger. He has to go to like a reformatory school, and I guess some stuff is going to go down at this school. Some scary stuff. So definitely a fall read. Hopefully I can get to this because this baby is thick, but I'm starting not to let thick books intimidate me like they used to, because thick books, if they're good, you're going to get through them regardless. You're going to get through it just as fast as you would a 280-page book if it's good. And I am looking forward to this one because I just hear so many great things about it. Then I have, I literally just got this book for the title, y'all. I don't know what this is about, and I don't even know how to say the first name. I'm going to mess up the name of the author. Tanvier Pert. And this is called Ella Gets the D. Take it how you want to take it. D could mean a lot of stuff. The end of my marriage was the beginning of my happily ever after. What happens when you hear your husband putting dents in your mattress with another woman? Leave and never look back. Easier said than done when you're a stay-at-home mom, share 2 kids with a no-good cheater, and have a savings account that laughs in your face on the daily. Morgan, my best friend, offers up a gorgeous townhouse her family owns to get me back on my feet. 8 months rent-free equals one step closer to divorced AF. When Morgan offered me the Georgetown townhouse, she failed to mention that it belongs to her younger brother, one of DC's most eligible bachelors. He's very fine, not a dream, and back early from the time away in London. Now we're staring at each other, dumbfounded and turned on. So, Ella Gets the D could mean Ella gets the divorce or Ella gets the D. So, feel like this is going to be spicy. But literally only got that for the title. I had never heard of the book. I was flipping through Kindle Unlimited, and I saw that. I was like, what is the D? Like, what are we talking about here? This is like, you know, but I really think she's going to get the D. Probably a lot of it. Listen for the Lie, Amy Tintera. This has been another popular book. So many good recommendations, so many good reviews I've gotten for this book. I hear that it's a lot of podcast elements in it. It just sounds like a very good book. Lucy and Savvy were the golden girls of their small Texas town. Pretty, smart, enviable. Lucy married a dream guy with a big ring and an even bigger new home. Savvy was a social butterfly, loved by all, and if you believe the rumors, especially popular with the men in town. But after Lucy is found wandering the streets, covered in her best friend Savvy's blood, everyone thinks she's a murderer. It's been years since that horrible night, a night that Lucy can't remember anything about. And she has since moved to LA and started a new life. But now the phenomenally huge true crime podcast, Listen for the Lie, and its 2 looking good hosts, Ben Owens, have decided to investigate Savvy's murder for the show's 2nd season. Lucy is forced to return to the place she said she never set foot in again to solve her friend's murder, even if she's the one who did it. The truth is out there if we just listen. This is going to be a roller coaster. I could tell. Roller coaster. Then I have, and then there was Passion by Asia Monique. This is the 2nd book. Is this the Hanson? I think this is called the Hanson family series. I could be making that whole series up, but I know their last name is Hanson. But this follows one of the sisters. The first book in this is And Then Life Was Beautiful. Love that book. Very sweet story. Loved it. Loved every single character in this. And this follows one of the sisters in that book. And this is her love story. There's a lot on here. I'm not going to read all this, but look it up if you want to see it. But I can't wait. It's a very short read. The other book was a little thicker. I think this one is like under, let me see. This is like 240 pages or something like that. So it's a really quick read. One I'm probably just going to kind of throw in there in between some of these like thrillers. Like after I read The Reformatory, I might need something like this after. Last book, y'all. popular one. S.A. Crosby, All the Sinners Bleed. I've never read a S.A. Crosby book, but I'm tired of hearing about him and not knowing what he's about. So between Razorblade Tears and this one, they just pop up everywhere. So I was like, okay, reading the back and the synopsis of both, I chose this one to be my first one. Titus Crown is the first black sheriff in the history of Sharon County, Virginia. In recent decades, Sharon has only had 2 murders. After years of working as an FBI agent, Titus knows better than anyone that while his hometown might seem like a land of moonshine, cornbread, and honeysuckle, secrets always fester under the surface. Then a year to the day after Titus's election, a school teacher is killed by a former student, and the student is fatally shot by Titus's deputies. Those festering secrets are now out in the open and ready to tear the town apart. So probably like some racial stuff going on. Like, seems like there's going to be a lot of mystery in this, kind of trying to figure out what is going on in this town. So that is that one. So guys, 14 book haul. So I cannot wait to get into these books. I hope you've added some of these to your fall TBR. And we're going to have a good fall reading month, y'all. I can feel it. A lot of these books, just like I said, scream fall to me, and I cannot wait to dive in. I hope you enjoyed today's book haul. Hopefully I won't have another book haul coming anytime soon, because this should really take me through the fall, maybe a little bit of the winter, because I have a good mix of stuff here. We got thrillers. We got historical fiction. We got romance. We have literary, just contemporary fiction. I think I got a little bit of everything. And that was the goal, as I was like getting a book at a time, to have a good mix. So hopefully you won't see another book haul. Maybe I'll do like some reading vlogs. And of course, my October wrap up at the end of the month. So thank you guys if you stuck around to the end. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for always tuning into these videos, sharing your comments. I love the comments. I love the comments. It just lets me know that you're like really looking at my video and you really care about what I have to say. Again, I appreciate you guys. If you're new here, make sure you're subscribed to me. Make sure you turn your notification bell on so you can know when I do post a new video, because I am kind of sporadic. I haven't found like my pattern yet. I don't know. I always post on a Thursday when I do post, so just know that it's always going to be a Thursday, but it's not consistent yet, just because I mean I work. I'm a whole adult. I don't have time all the time to do this, and I'm gonna try to get better though. But y'all just keep sticking with me, and thanks for watching.